welcome back, everyone, to the Champions Network. I'm your host, Jason Rambo, with my co-host, David Berdulovich. Mr. Largent in charge will be here in just a little bit, but in the meantime, we have two very special guests with us tonight. Mr. Neil Chadwick. Welcome, Neil.
Welcome.
Well, you're welcome.
Oh, I'm welcome.
Okay, yes.
Thank you.
And also an outstanding young lady shooter, Miss Savannah Barks. Welcome, Savannah.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. And this lady has been lighting it up. You are currently sitting top 5 right now in ladies?
In the USA Sporting Clays points race.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Where are you at in this event?
This event is not as good as normal. I will admit that. I believe I'm somewhere in the top 10, though.
Okay, all right, cool. Which two courses? You're on the pro squad.
Yes, sir.
So you've shot red and
Yellow.
Okay. Did you see the one? You set the yellow, didn't you?
No.
You set the red?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Neil's mad at me right now because I didn't remember that. The greatest thing about having Neil Chadwick with us tonight is the amount of crap that he gives David, and I'm really looking forward to this. But, of course, you came in here kind of spicy. You're probably going to give it all to me tonight. So, Savannah, what is the big difference in your opinion? You shoot all over the country. You shoot, all the circuit. What to you stands out the most with the national championship?
I think it just brings a whole nother level of pressure and competitiveness to the game. It's 300 targets. Most of what we shoot is 200 targets. So there's really an element of anybody could have a different, more better days than usual.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Okay. Well, you shot Neil's targets. What do you think? Were they any good, or did he?
I thought so far they've been fantastic.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
See, there you got a compliment, Neil. If anybody's just joining us, we had a little bit of problems here. David Radulovich is working things, so I'm sure everybody understands.
Listen, this one wasn't me. That was the NSCA Ethernet plug.
There you go. Well, see, Neil, you're getting blamed for stuff already.
Hey, I'll blame Neil as much as I can.
Yeah. Savannah, you're on the pro squad. And I know you shot the last 2 days. You've shot the red course and the yellow course. So what's your opinion so far?
I think so far the targets have been great. There's been a good mix of easier targets and then, targets with one or two challenging or stations with one or two targets, but not so that, your average shooter is going to shoot zeros, but also, it's competitive enough that everybody's going to miss one.
Right. What's your favorite of discipline of sporting? Is it just strictly sporting, or FITASC, or super sporting, or do you have a favorite?
Sporting.
Just sporting. Okay.
If I could shoot 6 sporting clays every weekend, 6 sporting clays events, I would.
Really?
Absolutely.
Wow. So hammer time. You like putting a lot of lead downrange. Okay.
Yep.
That's complete opposite of David. So
What?
Well, he shoots once every 6 months.
Yeah.
So shoot at me. See, she
That's
shoots 6 times a weekend. You shoot once every 6 months. So.
I don't get to shoot as much as I used to because I'm in college now.
Yeah.
But
what are you going to school for?
Engineering.
And where are you going to school at?
Texas A&M.
Okay, awesome. So we're not too far from home for you.
Yeah, not too bad. Only 3 hours.
Okay, there you go. You travel the circuit. You shoot all the big shoots in the United States. What separates this shoot for you from others like regionals, U.S. Open, and so forth?
I think the 300 bird main, and then just the absolute crowd and just the energy of all the people that come here.
Yeah.
Compared to any of the other events.
So, being on the pro squad, does that add another element of pressure for you, or do you really enjoy that?
I like it, but the first time I got on it, I probably should not have been. But I was really nervous the first time. But now that I've shot a lot more regional events and have gotten used to it, I do like it now.
Okay, gotcha. Neil, I'm going to bounce over to you here for a second. Have you gotten any feedback so far? I mean, we're 2 days into the mains on the 4-day rotation. I know there was people that shot, the 2-day event last weekend.
Right.
But so far, this is what I call the big weekend. What's been your feedback so far?
Totally positive across the board. I'm thinking people enjoying the targets. They're challenging. There's enough in there to keep the big boys occupied. But if I look at the rest of the classes, they're just having a great time.
Yeah. That's awesome. Have you shot any other events other than the main, or you just
I
shooting?
shot the Super Sporting.
You shot in Super Sporting. How'd you do on that?
Pretty well, yeah.
Good. I thought those were great targets. I shot well on it, so of course I think
Yeah.
I'm going to think they're great targets, right? But no, they were actually fun targets. Even the ones that I missed that I shouldn't have, they were easily well within my realm. I just, the 6 inches between the ears, right, as we all talk about. So, Neil, who set the Super Sporting?
Brent Fleming.
Brent Fleming.
Yep.
And, okay, remind everyone, red, yellow, green, orange, who set what? I know we just discussed you set the red course, but who set the other three?
Okay, so let's start on the west end with yellow. Jason Menke from Briley set that. I set the red, as you've just mentioned. Joe Skull set the orange, and Nathan Flanagan set the green.
Set the green?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. David, what's your take on everything? This guy picked up his gun, not touched it since July, went out and shot a 73 yesterday, so hats off to him. Today he stumbled a little bit. So
Well, it's because I had to shoot Neil's targets.
Here we go, Neil. Here we go. I've been waiting for
What
this.
did you shoot today, David?
I think I shot 66.
Oh, dear.
No, so are you basically asking what I think about the birds, Jason?
Yes.
I was talking to Neil about this earlier today, and I really like the approach that you take to target setting, and I hopefully that you've always known that, because every time I shoot your course, I like to try to find you, out there and come up and talk to you. I've always enjoyed shooting your targets. I think that I like the aesthetic look to them. I like shooting them. I like the challenge. And being somebody who, I think maybe probably most people would think if they look at my name or a lot of the pros on a scoreboard, their kind of first assumption as to who we are is that we're professional shooters, but really we're not. We each have our own jobs. I really would identify more as a coach. The shooting is a marketing expense, essentially. And so when I'm out on a course, or if I'm setting targets, I'm grading them through the filter of every day, every hour of my working day is behind the normal, average, bulk majority of the people that play this game. And I'm right behind them, and I'm watching them shoot. I'm watching them move the gun. I'm watching what they struggle with and what they succeed with and what they are entertained by.
Right.
And so when I go to set a course, I know the types of things, the subtlety in target setting that you can throw that would make somebody who doesn't know how to set that or view that or read that on a target think, well, that's just a dumb, easy target. But it's not. And there's so many little tiny things that are happening out there that can cause the best shooters to miss. And I think that was what's so cool about the course that, we're shooting. It seems to be the theme of targets here for this shoot, which is that if you underestimate them, you don't think that they're hard, because they're not 80 yards away and they're not edgy and they're not full spring. But what they require is, it's like the perfect blend of either if you're a pro and you're going to shoot them, you're going to lean towards shooting them in a very specific way. A perfect example was the one I was talking about today, Neil, on the red course. I think it's station 6 with the little trap bird under the tree and then a black chandelle. It was right before the rabbit chandelle and the black one out of the tree. A guy that is, C class, B class, A class is not going to rip that first trap bird off the arm. They're going to let that go out and take their time to make a move on it. Every one of the pros is going to rip it off the arm. We're not going to let that go out there and start to fall and shoot. Well, it was beautifully set to have the apex of the line like about 2 feet before where you're comfortable shooting. And I watched Joe Fanizzi miss 2 of those. I watched, I don't know if I saw, of the 10 people that I saw shoot that station, how far is that shot, Neil? 20 yards.
25 at
25
most,
at the
depending on
most.
where you take it. Like you say, if you
Right.
rip it off the arm, it's probably 15 to 20.
Yeah.
If you take it out by that evergreen tree at
Yeah.
the end, 25.
A quartering trap bird at
Yeah.
15 to 25 yards.
Yeah.
Best in the world. Missing multiple targets on that station. It doesn't have to be way out there, way fast, really hard to see. To be able to be challenging. And the cool thing is that when you set a course like that, then exactly what you said, Neil, is that the average guy that's here, that's all but the 40 people that are the pros on the course, are going to enjoy the round because the way that the targets are set, it's cool because it brings the pros down and it brings the lower classes up. And I think that takes masterful target setting to be able to do that.
Do you know, you're familiar with the station he's talking
Yes,
about, right?
yes.
How'd you do on that?
I did notice that peak, so I actually shot that one late.
Yes.
Possibly also because I'm like that. A quartering trap bird is probably the one bird I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
So because I've missed it so many times, and it's like not one I should be missing, right? So I was like, okay, I'm taking that late. So I did well on that one.
There were so many examples of that. You know, I mean, it wasn't just that bird. I mean, every one of it just. I like the challenge. I'm not the kind of person that I enjoy a course where it's intellectually stimulating throughout the round because I have to think through things, or maybe I just overestimate how sneaky you are, Neil. Because listen, I spent enough time with you to know that you got some tricks up your sleeve. But yeah, I think it was every station, and you know, so far all the targets I've shot have been fantastic, and I think this is good because that's what you want to do. You want to make it to. I mean, there's not been a single person on the pro squad that's run a course yet.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you know, and Neil, you're very opinionated on targets, and you know we're going to get you and David on over at the Dead Pair for a podcast. We're going to talk about going to big shoots and targets I think Sean and I are just going to kill our mics and let you two go at it because I think this is going to be awesome. No, you know, one of the things that Joe Skull said on the show one time was that his favorite example of this is Doug Vine had set some really big targets on the blue course at Jack Links, and basically Zach Kienbaum had the event won. He had a pretty substantial lead going into Sunday, and then he went over to the red course on Joe's targets, which were quote-unquote easier. Obviously, it shot way higher, you know what I mean, and a lot closer. And he lost the tournament on small, close birds.
You're right.
You know, so Savannah, I'm sure you know you can amplify this a little bit. Sometimes those closer, what you call quote unquote easy birds, they can bite you.
Absolutely. So they are absolutely my nemesis right now for whatever reason. So my home club is Greater Houston, right? And so at every buckle race, which there's 6 per year, there's the main event, which is harder targets, and then a sporting light, which is like a prelim, easier targets, whatnot. Typically, the sporting light's won with 99 or 100, multiple of them,
Wow.
right? And then, you know, the main's going to be, you know, a 93 at 95 would be a good score, right?
Yeah.
So the last, I think, 3 of them, I've shot nearly the same score, you know, upper 80s, low 90s on both courses.
Wow.
There's no reason for me to be doing that, right? Because
Yeah.
it's, you know, this light's basically a charity course. There's no reason for me to be missing in these easy targets, but it absolutely does happen. It's a frustrating thing to do, but it happens.
And so, you know, that was one of the things I was going to ask you, Neil, and I know you're very big on statistics, and I'm sure after this event you can compile all that for us. We'd love to hear those numbers when we have you back over at the podcast. But what I know you're looking at numbers coming in. Are the courses set for what you thought they would be, or do you think they're shooting them better or not as good?
That's a good question. And I'm going to call them the lower class people, A's through E's, seem to be shooting them better than the pro, master, AA. And that takes up, and we've only done half of them. If I look at the scores between yellow and red, and we spoke about this earlier, the lower half, if I take them all in a line, the lower half increased their scores today, and the top half decreased their scores.
How cool is that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which is just odd.
And when I
That's
ran
exactly what I just said.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I ran into you out in the field, we were talking how there were some names at the top yesterday that you don't see today. I mean, now Brandon's still, just so everybody knows, Brandon's still sitting at the top, and Turner Purcell's still at the top two. But the names underneath will say 3 through 15. A lot of those have kind of flip-flopped now. You know, like Derek Mine wasn't in the conversation yesterday, and he's sitting fourth right now. So it's just funny to see how some people like different flavors of targets, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Do you think – go ahead, Neil. I'm sorry.
No, that was me that was going.
Oh, okay.
I want to add to that because
Yeah.
basically what I would say to that is it really does play into what I was just talking about, because there's the guys that at the top of the game that we shoot different. Like it's a big strategy game of risk reward, essentially, and you're looking to play to your shooting style and basically go in. There's a lot to equate it to something that's easy to make sense of. It's like poker. If you have an ability to go all in and kind of bluff, so to speak, but you're just basically risking a lot for a big reward. And the people that win a major shoot, that they basically are the guys that did that and it paid off, and the people right below them are the guys that did that and they'd lost a few, and then the people that are below them are the guys that did that and they didn't assess their ability to do it at the right time and they made more of a mistake than anybody else. Well, when you have courses set, and like I have to be honest about this, I really also like big crazy long targets, and there was not crazy, but like every course, I've started on 3. I think Neil looked at what station I was going to start every day, and he – but no, I've started on 3, and every day it's been a good, satisfying bird if you're looking for something, you know, like that puts you a little bit out of the comfort zone. Okay, so there's been that. But on a thing like that, I don't have to have good mechanical mastery of the gun to hit that bird, because it's just a big gap. And when the bird gets further away, it actually means that your physical movement is smaller and slower. And so when your movement is smaller and slower, it doesn't really require good mechanics. It just requires good pointing. Okay, when you get birds that are a little closer, and that means that you can have half of the speed of a bird out there, but your movement physically is going to be more. It's going to be faster. And so when to talk about what Neil just said about the scores, there where the guys at the bottom are coming up and the guys at the top are going down, makes sense to me, because we're day in, a little bit more pressure, guys are getting a little bit tight, the awkwardness of that course that we just shot with the technicality of the birds and the off, you know, you get like slightly off and something doesn't feel right, and we're kind of gambling and going all in a lot. Well, our movement, the birds are closer, so we have to have better control of the movement, and they're birds where, you know, you make a little tiny movement wrong on these targets and you're going to miss 50% of a 15-yard trap bird, you know. That's why targets like that, they're so much fun to set and shoot, and because it really does, it pulls the scores together from the bottom to the top.
Very well said.
Would you agree with that, Neil?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's the little bits of take station 2 on the red.
Yes.
Okay. That was the one, there was a bird on your left, you didn't see the trap.
Yes.
And it came out and immediately it was turning away from you.
Yes.
And the other one was an incomer from behind that mound of earth.
Yes.
Quite some distance out in front. Now, obviously you're going to shoot this left-hand bird, but as it comes out, your eyes pick up this other one coming in. Right?
Yes.
So immediately your eyes go, oh, okay, it's there.
Yes.
Now you've lost contact with this bird on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention the choice of bird that you put there with the orange dome. For people listening that don't know, it's basically a half orange, half black target.
Yeah.
It was like it's one of my favorite targets because you can make the bird look more visually intimidating than it is. And what was really cool about that's where I finished. And what was cool about that station was not only did that happen, but I think this would be a thing where, here's a great example. We can talk about that station. Lower end of the experience level, the guys are not going to struggle too much on that station, because both shots you can kind of just put the gun on the bird and shoot and pull the trigger. Higher end of the spectrum in skill, that can be a challenging station, because the guys at the top end of the game, we're going to do everything we can to avoid aiming, right? And so that first bird's going to amp you up a little bit because of the way that it looks, and it just pops out of the trees and it turns around real fast and it looks edgy and scary, so you get a little bit tense and you'll take the shot on that, and then you got to go to a bird that requires the utmost level of precision. And you just psychologically and physiologically put somebody in a position where now they're tight and tense, and they got to move very small, very slow, very fluid. This is an awesome type of target, you know? That'd be a great example of why you can bring the lower guys up and top guys down.
Yeah.
I missed one there.
Did you really?
Yeah. I even knew the little trick. I'm like, oh, I'm not falling for this, and I did.
Yeah.
You said you're in the top 5 ladies right now for the points race for the year, right?
Yes, for the Team USA.
For
points race, yes.
Okay. So they take more than 5, don't they?
So they take 3 and an alternate.
That's right.
So I'm
Okay.
competing for that last spot, basically.
So you're on the bubble right now.
Yeah, so because of 2 regionals, I was second by 1 bird, and then the USA, or not the USA, the World Sporting, I was second by 1 bird. So those 3, and then they also take either US Open or Nationals.
Okay.
My US Open was really bad. So basically, if I do well here, there's a good chance.
You behave over there. You made people mad about U.S. Open, so.
Are these questions coming up from viewers?
Yes, these are people. And by the way, everyone, if you got a question for Neil or Savannah,
Yes.
please feel free to ask. I mean, that's what this chat is here for.
Well, somebody said, look, this is what?
He's saying that
Maybe tomorrow's ball game will be better than this.
That's because I was talking, probably.
well, I think somebody had an echo problem or something. But oh, Jiminy Christmas! You know, when you're live, you just can't help but just.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
You know.
He said David upset FITASC by saying he loved orange dome targets. That's
Are those not allowed in FITASC now?
No, that was a big to do online.
Oh.
Just tidbitting.
No, but you do know that if you shoot the Fajara shoot and you set the targets, you're done with FITASC.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was a new memorandum out today from FITASC that if you are part of the management, course design, anything to do with that you lose your FITASC thing. If you shoot it, you don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
so what are they going to do with George?
I don't know. Can him?
What a mess. Wow.
That is a mess. So, but we're still waiting to hear officially from the NSCA what their response is to everything, right? I mean,
well, the NSCA is waiting for a response from FITASC, and they won't respond.
No. Really? You don't think they will?
No.
Huh. Okay. Because I know we were going to have, you know how we have the segment with Michael Hampton over at the Dead Pair.
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't. Yeah.
And he was telling me, he's like, we're still waiting to hear from FITASC.
Yeah.
They had sent an official letter over from the NSCA, and they still haven't heard back from them. So you're telling me you don't think we'll hear from them?
I don't think so. I think we'll get through this Fajara shoot next. It's February time.
I
Something
believe so.
Like that.
Yeah, I think it's right. It's like the week before the Jacklinks.
And then it'll go away. I had so many calls. That if I set Supersport in, can I not set FITASC anymore? No, just forget it. It's FITASC being stupid.
Yeah.
You know.
I
Anyway,
don't
I'm sorry.
understand.
I
their grumble.
digress.
But that's not surprising.
No.
I digress. Carry on.
That's why we love you, Neil. Excuse me. I'm sorry. By the way, everyone, we're going to be covering. We're going to hopefully have some footage from the Top Gun shootout here coming up at 7:30 Central. So excited to do that. David, do you have anything you wanted to run? Or no?
You mean like question-wise, or?
Well, that too.
What time is it? What time? Oh, the Top Gun's probably starting pretty soon, right?
Yeah, it's
7:30.
We got about 20 minutes.
7:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to have. I'd like to get some of the questions in.
We have a little bit of an echo going on, David, if you can adjust
It's nothing that we're doing. All they have to do is refresh the page.
Okay. Everybody hear that? Tony, Lissy, if you would, just refresh your page. Savannah, do you have any questions for Neil? Or don't ask David. It'll just be an hour long. No, I'm just kidding. What's been the most interesting thing for you this national? First of all, let me preface that. How many years have you been coming to the Nationals?
This is my 4th year.
This is your 4th year. What's the most interesting thing to you? Anything at all. Doesn't matter. Vendors, targets.
Okay,
anything.
I will say this. I was very disappointed that my favorite pizza vendor is not here.
Oh.
Oh, no.
We're going to have to work
Are there
on
any
that,
good
Neil.
lobster rolls?
I don't know. I've never.
No.
That's a New Hampshire thing, lobster rolls.
Yeah, those are the best.
Only you could afford to stand in that line, David. We're us mere mortals over here have to eat cheeseburgers. So, anything else? Did you check out the new concrete?
I did. That was very nice.
We had 45.
And I like the new pavilion.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's also very nice. We had 45 inches of rain last year, as you know, and Noah floated by in the ark and said, "You will put concrete here." So, and like we discussed, Neil, now that there's concrete, it won't rain for another 20 years during the Nationals.
True.
So, but David, why don't we? Do you have?
I would like to. One thing I'd like to do is I've never got a chance to be. Maybe you guys have talked about this before, but I think what's interesting is I think everybody that goes to these shoots, I know that not very many of them understand what all goes on behind the scenes, and I know that I think maybe the first podcast, Neil, that you did with these guys, you talked about that some, but I would like to talk. I'd like to kind of, Neil, if possible, I'd like you to kind of go through a little bit about like all the things that you guys are having to deal with and manage and set targets and kind of give everybody, if you can or willing to, and maybe you don't want to let people know, but I'd like people to understand what's happening behind the scenes, because I think most people just have a little bit of a, not in any criticism to them, but have a little bit of a passive experience as to what's going on here. And I think, number one, it's interesting, but number two, they should, it would be good to know, to understand how much work is going on.
Okay, so I get a team of guys in probably week and a half, almost 2 weeks before the first Saturday. Machines have turned up from the vendors, Laporte, Lincoln, GP, Mattarelli from Briley. In total, we've put out 424 machines.
Wow.
Pete will get some of that done, especially the practice courses that come up the side, go down Rough Road, go across the front of the vendors. Then I'll divvy up what the different target setters are going to do. They'll get a list of target colors and machines that they have available for that particular course. Okay. So then it's a question of hands-on, getting the machines out, getting the creative juices going, setting the course. So it sounds easy. I'm making it simplified. Then we turn in target colors to Pete so that Station 2, Trap A, is all black. So then he's already broken down the targets. On the main course, each machine had a pallet and a half
I saw that.
sitting beside it.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Okay. So at some point then I'll get the team together and we'll go through and vet the targets primarily for safety, sun issues, and shootability, basically.
Right.
You actually had people vet your red course?
Yep.
Yeah. That's surprising. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Why do you laugh?
Let him have it,
Guys,
Neil. Just let him have it. I've been waiting for this all night. Just let him have it.
So then after then, of course, I mean, there's a ton of menus to get printed.
Yeah.
We have to print them and staple them on. There's the flagging to keep the idiots on the course. I mean, believe me.
Yeah, I know.
Believe me, you laugh.
No, I know. I've had experience of it. People walk right in the middle in front of people of stations. Like, what are you doing?
Yesterday, some geezer come across the... What? Some geezer finished shooting on red and came straight across the field through Station 2.
You're kidding me.
to the 5 stand and the AFS straight across there. So I
no.
grabbed hold of him. I said, you know, sir, you really shouldn't have done that. Well, they stopped shooting.
You're kidding.
Well, yeah, they stopped shooting because they didn't want to shoot you.
Oh man! Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's funny little tidbits like that, you know.
Wow.
My other pet peeves, of course, is, well, let me tell you about this one. We had a Can-Am racing around about 50 miles an hour. Well, he's going a lot quicker than some of us can go.
Couldn't catch up to him.
Couldn't catch him with a golf cart, could you?
And so we stopped him and gave him a warning and said, hey, if you do that again, you know, just slow down, it's dangerous. Next day, the same Can-Am. So we chased him around, different driver.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
And the record this year is, I guarantee you, every flight, every course, somebody won't pick their gun up.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have a collection of them at home?
Yeah. No, they're in the I don't know where they get, but they find out that they haven't got it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And we put them up in the pro shop, you know. But it's amazing this year. People just don't, you know, high dollar guns. Just leave it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow. I'm sure you've started to walk off and forgot your gun on the rack and had to turn around and go back, right?
Not in a long time.
Not a long time. Yeah. We have a buddy of ours back home that we'll get to the station and it's, you know, a good click to the next one. He goes, I'll be right back. It's inevitably, it's like once every weekend. I'll be right back. So, but now, you know, you think about what Neil just said, a pallet and a half, and that's per machine, is what you stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a pallet's got 63 cases, targets, and standard targets, there's 135 in a case.
Correct.
That is a lot of targets over the course of the weekend.
17,000 cases.
Wow. How many truckloads is that?
I don't know.
18-wheelers, you don't know?
I don't know that one.
David, you should know this. How many pallet loads you fit in a 18-wheeler?
I don't know.
Okay, informative
20,
show here.
20 something?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wow.
24 maybe?
That's a lot of targets.
Yeah. Yeah.
My goodness. How many, do you know off the top of your head how many grounds people you have working every day to just refill traps, just regular maintenance, empty trash cans, refill traps?
There's Pete's staff that obviously get the trash and everything like that. Fortunately, a lot of the trappers know how to, I call them trappers, I should call them referees because they're referees, know how to load machines, so that helps. We really haven't got that many extra.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's at the end of a flight, it's all hands on deck. We're out there loading machines. Somebody says, hey, come and give me a hand on yellow, wherever it might be.
Wow. That's incredible. Well, everything I've seen so far, I mean, there was a little bit of a backup today during the pro squad, but, you know,
That was on Red 7.
Red 7?
Yeah.
No.
Wasn't it?
David?
What? Yes, Reds.
Red
No,
Zone.
whatever the tower was. I don't know.
That's me.
Yeah.
So we get to blame you? Oh, okay.
But I honestly think there's things that you
It's-
can't predict because that kind of thing. I know you could talk about how many pairs are on every set, but the other thing is that the way that station was shooting was it didn't. There's another example of it. I'm looking at that station and I'm out of complete confusion, thinking, why is everybody missing these targets? They did not look challenging at all. And I'm sitting there reading them like, what's so hard? But I don't understand why. I don't think I saw a single person run that station. I'm watching Cory Cruz have a lost pair. I don't know how many Anthony missed. Watch Austin Keemstat miss 3. I watched over and over and over, miss. And I'm just like, this doesn't look that hard. It's a 70 millimeter, 90 millimeter. This one's like right over my head. That one's right over my head. And I go in there, miss 2. And half of what was happening there was, it was a little bit longer to shoot the pair. But the other thing is that was being amplified because of the fact that people were missing them. All of these people were missing them. And so you're taking more time to figure out, what am I doing? You double the amount of time someone takes on every pair. Yeah. You create a huge backup, even if the flow of the course is perfect.
Yeah.
And that was a huge cause of it.
Yeah, and that, and and initially I was going to throw that pair as a true pair, which made it, in my opinion, too tough.
Yeah, that would have been hard.
With it being singles and the machine, the tower being actually quite a way back, it's over the road and behind the hedge on stand 3. You call for the target, you can't necessarily hear the machine fire, so you got and then you start thinking, have I met? Where has it gone? Has it gone? Has it gone? And then all of a sudden it appears. It's not more than, what is it? It's not even 20 yards away.
It's
up in
right
the air.
there.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
just right
right
up in the air.
there.
But I think some people are getting themselves out of position because they're thinking that the target should be there quicker. And the same with the 90. You know, okay, I've shot that one, and then all of a sudden it's.
Interesting.
They're good targets.
I heard that the taller you were on that station, the harder it was. Because I'll let David explain why. How did you do on that station, first of all?
I dropped 2. So.
Did you drop 2? Why was it harder for a taller person, David?
Well, it just had to do with the bar on the top of the thing. For me, the bar was about if I got into the station and tried to, get my head out in front of the station, it basically I could have done that, but it was I would say preventing me from shooting it until it got about maybe 40 yards out there. And I'm not even the tallest guy out there. Bane Horn followed me, and it would have been worse for him. But there's things you can do about that. I don't know why I didn't think about this in the moment, but if I would have just got, bent my knees and got lower, changed my perspective angle would have changed a little bit. But it didn't have anything to do with visibility because, I was able to see that way behind me. I just shot it basically like the opposite of a driven bird in terms of the physical position that you're trying to get yourself in. And, I was able to look way back here, and I'm following it the whole time. What got me was even though I planned it, the bar, watching the bird go through the bar, and then being able to get such a good connection to it visually way early, and then right when I'm wanting to shoot it, lose it. I was like spazzing myself out.
Yeah, I will say I think the bar was exactly where I wanted to put my gun for
Really?
the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I walked into the station, I was like, dang, this one shouldn't have had a bar on it. You know?
Yeah. Well, good job on that one, Neil.
Yeah.
You stumped him.
Yeah, but I didn't really like the target.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you change different on that? If you had to do it all over again.
Well, I wouldn't have put the tower there. But I wanted to, everybody throws, I've thrown a 70 off a tower before, but usually it's crossing or quartering away, and it's just in front of you. And I wanted the 70 overhead. I certainly hadn't done it before, and I don't know if we've,
I don't know if I've shot a 70 overhead that either.
Yeah. And normally, if you shoot that sort of thing, it's usually a 90 and a standard, So I just wanted to be a little bit different, but I wasn't totally happy with it, really because of the time it took for that 70 to get across. When you throw a 70, because it's so light, even if you've got the spring wound up, it dissipates speed so quick.
So fast.
By the time it came over your head, if you looked at it from the side, it was just dropping down like that. There was no speed behind it.
I'll be darned.
Would that influence how it would fade off and fall? Depending on how. Do you find that 70s, regardless of trap and regardless of whose 70 millimeter target you have on there, do you find that they have a slightly more inconsistent flight path at the end of the line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. Maybe because, I don't know, maybe the amount of spin on that little target.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe the weight should be the same. But you do. You especially at the end of the flight.
Yeah.
I guess that's why we throw them, and usually you shoot them fairly quick off the arm.
Yeah.
Or shoot it as a trap bird. It'd be a tiny trap bird, I know that, but,
Yeah. Well, they don't hold line very well. I know that being so light.
No.
I love them. I think they're fun targets.
You like 70s?
Yes.
No, the one that drives me nuts is the Alka-Seltzer, the 60.
Yeah.
That's I don't care what machine you throw it out of. That target's so light, it's hard to make a good target out of that.
Yeah.
So, do you have a Nemesis target? Batu, Rabu, anything like that?
It's got to be a Rabu, yeah.
Rabu.
The one, it was on number 6. It was really close, Rabbit Chandelle. I missed it twice.
6.
Shot in front of it. It was the rabbit
Oh, the
Chandelle,
orange
and then
one?
yeah. Yep, I shot way in front of it, twice.
Like the outside view. We still don't have any questions yet. Come on, people. I'm surely all these people in
Jake
the
said,
chat room.
Jake said 24 pallets to
Yeah.
a truck.
Jake
Thanks,
Spangler's.
Jake.
Yeah, Jake. Love me some Jake.
I
Love
think that's
it.
what I thought. We have a question from Bill T. It says, what is the plan for Sunday's final course and shoot-offs, if any? Thank you.
All 4 squads will be starting on stand 1. We're going to leave stand 2 empty. So the two ladies squads will start obviously on stand 1, move on to stand 2, which will be empty. Then the 2 guys will follow along. So that then, obviously, when we get round to stand 10, ladies finish first. We'll find the champion for ladies and then the men's. There's going to be a camera on each station.
Okay.
Plus, and he gave it a special name, perhaps David knows, and another camera. There's going to be 3 cameras that are stood in front that are tiltable
Wow.
pan, you know. And then there's going to be guys walking around with handheld cameras so that we can get the behind the shooter shot. I mean, they've run cable, they've run fiber optic cable up and down that green course.
Yeah.
They've got a huge generator to supply power. It should be good, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you're looking forward to it.
Definitely.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, we will have, we're trying to have a press conference, top 3 men, top 3 ladies here after the shoot to do a press conference. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we can dive into some good headspace there with our champions.
Yep.
So, David, we are about 5 minutes from the Top Gun shoot starting. Do you have something we could take a couple minute break? I'm sure.
Yeah. Can I
these
just
two
say,
would like to get a meal.
Can I?
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
give a shout out to, everybody's at the Nationals. Everything's running smooth. We've got a little bit of dust problem. The water truck has been out there. But if anybody's got any suggestions, ideas, I'm usually sitting down by the shop trying to direct everything, as you know. Do come up and see me, introduce yourself, and give me some ideas of what we can do next year. I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And I know you're genuine about that. So, and that's cool. Definitely take them up on that if you guys have something. But just I would say they better come with some wit. I think if they're going to come talk to you.
We do have one quick question here, Neil, before we let you go. Dan Williams says, how does weather forecasting go into target setting for such a premier event?
Now, that's a really good question. We started looking at the weather. I started looking at the long-term weather before we actually came down the week and a half before we started to set the targets. And believe me, this week has been odd. I could predict exactly where the wind was coming from all week.
Really?
East, southeast to south. Maybe a little bit north of east, which really didn't affect us. Unheard of. Typically we've got a strong wind out the north one day.
Yes.
Out the south the second day. So I tell the guys, look, we're almost guaranteed just a mild 10, 12 miles an hour steady wind out the southeast. It enables you to sort of, some of these long Batu type targets, something that's got face on it that's going to be affected by the wind, we know what it's going to do.
Right.
If we get the change in wind north and south that's fairly strong, we just have to be that little bit more careful where we place the targets,
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest fear for safety reasons is having targets or target pieces blow back into the cage
Right.
after the guy's shot. In that case, I would change the target. That's the only time I would change the target. But we can mitigate that somewhat if we know what the wind's going to do.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I saw you out there every time I went into the cage. We got one more question for Neil.
Yeah, it says, what station would you want to sit and watch shooters shoot to see how they approach the targets?
We got another one too, though. This one was a little bit earlier. It's in the actual Q&A thing. So there's for everybody watching, there's a chat section, but there's also a whole area where you can ask a specific question, and we're making sure that we can get it. But Philip Bell said, for Neil, at what maximum distance do you feel a target goes from a fair target to a more of a luck shot?
I guess that would depend a little bit upon the presentation.
Yeah, that's very valid.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, if you think of something that's a big belly chandelle, you can actually get that out there quite a ways and still be a fair shot.
you can, as long as you can recreate the line. I think it's
Yeah.
if you've got long shots on, I think you've got to be prepared to try and keep everything on a standard. You know, I would look at something like maybe, and I'm going out on a limb, if I can see belly 60 yards.
60.
Yeah,
that's your
maybe out
max.
to 65. If
Yeah.
it's a Batu, you could be at 65 because they break really easy. If I want to throw something that's edgy and fast with a full spring, I wouldn't put that out there any more than probably 45 to 50
Yeah, bring that
as a
in.
distant,
Yeah.
as a furthest distance.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you would probably agree with that, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Is there anything that makes you nervous when it starts getting out there too far?
not really distance so much. If anything that has a good curve to the line, I'm a big fan of that. Any sort of like anything that's straight across, it doesn't matter how close or how far it is. That's what makes me more nervous. But
Yeah.
How would you define how you shoot?
collapsing and intercept. Would
Oh,
be
very
my
cool. Okay,
main
well, that makes
two.
sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So Ken here asks us, says, what station would you want to sit and watch shooters to see how they approach their targets? So in other words, is there a station that stands out in your mind that you would enjoy sitting and watching shooters and see how they're shooting it? You're not allowed to say all your stations.
Well, they would be multiple. Not mine, other people's as well.
Yeah.
I like to watch people, how they approach shots when as a target setter, I put them on the wrong foot. You know, now on the red course, a little bit difficult to do because of the narrow windows, the closed-in space. But Jason, for example, on yellow with the open fields, you know, he had that little rabbit coming across there, and then from the right-hand side, a target with some speed going like that. Well, people are they're setting up for the rabbit, and they don't think about this one, so they're going like, and then they do a little bit of a shuffle round like that. And you know, you know.
That's where I missed the 2 birds I missed yesterday.
Oh, is it from shit?
See, I know he's watching me. That's okay. Don't worry.
We were waiting for this.
Yeah.
So, Ken, a brilliant question. And different people will approach different targets in different ways. So you can sit and watch a target presentation and see several different approaches to it. I mean, I like watching some of the top guys shoot, and that will give me an idea of sometimes where I can make a miss.
Yeah.
But a good question, Ken.
I have one for you, Savannah, before we let you all go get something to eat. I'm sorry we kept you here so long. Is there one shooter that you look up to that you really like to watch shoot? Like, if you had to pick one that you could just like, man, I can sit here and watch this person break targets all day long.
Probably maybe Zach.
Zach?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Who's your coach?
I don't really have a coach at the
Oh,
moment.
well, that's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah. So I was on the Lone Star Select Shooting Team out of Houston.
What an amazing program.
Yeah, absolutely. I coach
Wow.
for them now.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So the last time I had a lesson was probably about a year or 2 years ago.
Cool. Very cool.
Watch,
So,
David's going to slip a business card here in a second. Watch it.
no, these are screen wipes.
see, he's got
I'm scheming over
he's
here.
got a scheme going.
Actually, the program that you're part of is like mind blowing,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It's literally run like a company.
Yeah.
And what it does for the youth shooting sports down there is amazingly impressive. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you got to go, Neil? No. But yeah, it's so how many kids do you work with as part of that?
So I think the team as a whole has made like somewhere 50 to 60 kids, and then so that between the coaches, it's like me, Dominic, Austin, Megan, Lane Piccolo's now coaching for them also. Whole bunch of really great coaches. So we all get assigned a certain number of students per month. So I think I've worked with most of them, probably maybe like 30 to 40 of them.
Very cool.
I normally do like 4 lessons with them per month just because of my schedule, but yeah.
How do you find that coaching influences either your own game, your decision making in, around, or just your level of awareness of what you do and how you do it?
I definitely watch targets a lot harder now.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, I don't have to practice nearly as much.
Yeah, that's so true.
I'm seeing the targets. It's not like I've been, like I've practiced one time since, not the last regional, but the regional before that. So
Oh, wow.
I don't practice very much because of college, basically.
Yes.
So being able to coach, I'm still seeing the targets. So like the mental repetition is really just, it still happens when you're coaching.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
It really does. Cool. Yeah. It really helps you honestly learn to strategize and plan and read things a lot better.
Yeah. I'm definitely a more technical shooter now than I was before.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. What? Was you going to say something else?
Oh, no. You looked at me like I was supposed to know something.
You're supposed to know a lot of things.
Listen, I know nothing, Jason.
We know, David. We know. But no, this has been really cool. Like I said, we appreciate stealing you all for a while. I'm sure both of you, I know Neil's got to get going, but appreciate both of you spending some time with us. We'll let you guys go get something to eat. David, we need to get coverage going on the Top Gun shootout when you can there. But Neil, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Savannah, thank you very much.
You.
Once you guys go get something to eat, I know you got to get going too.
Yep.
So,
Great.
but we'll catch up with you soon.
Yep.
Savannah would like to catch up with you down the road here. But we'll be talking to you soon, and good luck the rest of the weekend.
Thank you very much.
It's Neil.
Boy, I'm all messed up here today. Neil, every time Neil's in the room, I get nervous.
Right.
I'm going to get the footage and everything set up, and then we'll be able to go live. So give us just a few minutes, hang out here, and we'll be right back.
We'll try to get Large and in charge back in here too.
Yeah, that'd be good. And we're good.
All right, David. My screen here is having problems, so tell us what's going on here.
All right, so basically right now we have the Top Gun shoot-off going on. For those of you guys that don't know about the Top Gun shoot-off, it's a pretty historical thing, and it's always been a lot of fun. Basically, they've done this forever. And it basically is all about kind of entertaining the crowd and getting them involved. And, oh, look, we got people sitting up on top of the skeet houses. But it's a lot of fun. And most of the time, there's some good money to be won, but it ends up always kind of getting thrown back into whatever charity the whole thing is about. But essentially right now they are all on the last peg of it, and we are right now probably what's going on is Mo Parsons is probably giving somebody a little bit of flack because that's what he's famous for on this. So it's cool. The targets are really challenging. It's always a good test of skill, and basically all the top guys are out there.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
You won't. Well, maybe. Nah, I know you too well. How's come you're not out there?
That's a good question. I tend to make friends very easily, and
Enemies a little easier. Just so everybody knows, this is an invite-only thing for the pros, and I think they take 8.
No, they take much more than 8.
No, 8 men and then I think 4 women. Is that right? Or is it 8 and 8? I don't remember now. Anyway, I'll shut up. Go ahead. Keep talking.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Good answer. You have any questions there?
Keeping
Sean?
it PG-13. No, I just somebody was said there was an echo going on. I told him to try to refresh, see if that.
I don't know why that happens. I think what ends up happening is that if there is an echo on the page.
Can you kill this one?
Yeah, which one is it?
I don't know.
It looks like it's 4.
There you go. Yep.
Sean, say something.
Check. 1, 2.
Yeah, he's here.
So the only downside to the setup that we got here is that we're stuck to an Ethernet cord, and we are in the Hall of Fame, and we can't be out there. But honestly, we have good footage. We're basically we're kind of carbon copying some of the footage from the NSCA right now. So we'll give them a little bit of a shout out. If you don't follow the NSCA on social media, and if you have social media, definitely go give them a follow. And for those of you, here's a very interesting stat. Of everybody that has watched this, so yesterday we had 500 some people. We'll see after this is done how many people watch this. I did a poll for are you currently here at the national championship? 100% of the people said no.
Really?
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, that's what we're here for.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm taking a look here. They're looking at some show targets. The past 3 years, this is my 4th year at the Nationals. The past 3 years, I was down in the field videoing, and after getting, literally hung out to dry with the pitchforks and the torches, I decided not to do that anymore. My video capabilities is not what yours is, David, especially with an iPhone. But it's, it's very cool. It's at night. You can see the targets pretty well.
Yeah.
They don't even use flash targets, do they, or do they?
Yeah, they do.
Do they use flash targets? Okay.
Well, that's a good question.
can't
Sometimes
remember.
they don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they put them in there for random targets. It's just a mix.
But the thing I've noticed is you got a few pros that take it serious, but for the most part, they're all there to have fun. It's for a good cause. And it's really cool because you get to see them, get together and shoot in one little area,
Yeah. I've never been one to take this shoot off serious because I think it should be about this. Oh, here we got Turner. Let's look. So I've been shooting with Turner the whole week so far. And Turner's a great kid, a fantastic personality, very good shot. You could what I'm seeing here, very much what I've watched the whole week. Very confident, controlled movement. Interesting thing that he has there is he's got some white chalk on his rib, and you'll see a lot of the pros that do that. Here we got Mike Wilgus, same thing. He's got the same thing. Basically, they're doing it to try to get a frame of reference. Now, what's interesting to me is I've seen Mike shoot a lot before, and I can tell you that something has changed on his gun. It's a lot lower in the shoulder. You can see his head down more. That's not typical of him. He's going to miss over both of those shots because of that. You could see that in both of those. I don't know why he's changed that. That's a big change. Look at over.
Wow.
Yep.
Still getting some comments that we're getting echoes, guys, just for whatever that's worth.
I can tell you the thing on our end that would cause an echo would be if I have multiple audio inputs. I have one audio input, and we're getting a live feed of what's happening. If you're getting an echo at home, refresh the page on the website, and if that still goes to an echo, scroll down a little bit and see if another video is playing and mute that.
Got Bill McGuire, Uncle Bill.
Oh, Billy McGee.
McGee.
Bill, let's watch.
Looked like he got that first one. Wasn't sure on the second one.
Yeah, Bill has always been somebody who really heavily relies on his eyes. to shoot, and you can see that in the way that he moves his gun. So watch how you'll see what he does. Watch, big movement in the eyes, very small movement in the gun. The only problem with that is that if you're doing that, and right now you can tell that if you're having a hard time seeing, both of those the second birds of the pair there was literally no movement in the gun. So basically he body's not following the eyes there. We got Zach has been kind of not shooting as well as I would have expected this week. I hate to say that because he's my buddy, but unless I didn't look at the scores today, but every time I've asked him how he's been shooting, but I can tell you right now that this looks pretty good. This is really controlled, or a little bit handsy in the front. This is not the best view to understand what's going on, but what's cool is you can see the different style of every single one of the shooters here.
Zach's got the chicken wing going on there.
The kind bomb wing.
Yeah.
And what's also interesting about Zach, I mean, he's the current world FITASC champion, best in the world with the gun out of his face, but he seemed to be getting into the gun a lot right there on all of those shots.
There's our boy Cory Cruz.
Cory's a really nice guy. As good as they get.
Sponsored by Whataburger. How do we get that sponsorship?
I don't know, but I need to look into that one.
Actually, you know what? Maybe I don't need that. I need it all the time.
Oh, my gosh.
I'll text Cory and find out how he got that hooked up.
Yeah. Fellow Rhino shooter.
Cory is the youngest person, I believe. No, actually, maybe. Fanizzi might now be the youngest person to win the national championship. But if it's not Fanizzi, it's Cory. Man, these must be interesting birds because they don't look that hard, but all these guys are kind of making a quick shot. I wish I could rewind that and watch it, but you're looking. What I'm seeing is watching the video and looking at the birds doesn't look like it's a totally different perspective from being in that cage, and I'll bet you the bird coming from the right going up in the air is only popping up. Not that one. It's in two more pair. It has to be that cage on the right side is influencing people's moves because I'm seeing nobody make a connected shot to it. We got Todd and then Wendell right behind him.
Todd always looks solid.
Yeah, looks solid. Got his long-thorn gun, and Wendell is standing right behind him.
I'm very shocked that Wendell's down there. He normally skips this event.
Yeah, but he's – okay, here's what I'm talking about. Let's see the second bird on – oh, no, it's maybe the bird after this, pair after that. I don't know what just happened. It looked like Cory got a different pair than everybody else.
I don't know.
I have some people asking if we could see more of them in the screen. The problem is that the feed that we are getting from the NSCA is a vertical video, and I'm literally showing you all of the video that we have. So if I make it, there's nothing more for us to see, unfortunately. I would love it to be a horizontal video, but it's not. So here's a cool thing about Wendell. This is a brand new gun. And Wendell had talked to me a lot on the phone about should I shoot the old gun or shoot the new gun. And so he decided to commit to the new one, and it's awesome to watch because his movement here, it looks – I mean, there's nobody in the world that knows how Wendell shoots better than I do, and I can tell you this is the best that I've ever seen him. He may not yet be scoring as good as he can shoot this gun because it's literally his first time ever shooting this gun, but I'm telling you right now, in a few – let's watch this. In a few months or a few tournaments from now, we're going to have to watch out.
Is that right?
Yes.
He's still got the same stock he's always had.
No, completely new. Everything is new.
Oh, really?
You can't understand how much of a change that's been that stock for 20-some years.
Yeah.
Got Braxton Oliver. He's also on my A squad. Braxton's as good as it gets. Braxton is about as pure of a shooter as you – I mean, just so fluid, just trusts looking at the bird, responds to what he sees, doesn't ever look like he has a care in the world as to what happens, and it makes him so fluid and smooth when he's shooting. Interesting thing there, the differentiation between that quick, fast quartering bird that's flat and that second bird that's kind of fallen. And you've seen a lot of these pros ripping that first bird and carrying that momentum and tension into the second one and getting offline with it. That was an interesting decision to do it that way, and it paid off. That was kind of cool. I don't know if you guys could tell, but Braxton shot that bird way out there, falling.
He's a he's a fan of big birds. He's told us that before.
Yeah.
Looks like we got Gibbon coming up here.
Old Gibbon.
David, you used to travel with Gibbon a lot back in the day. He has had a dramatic change throughout the last 10 years, 15 years. Just in his shooting, his personality, just his personal life, everything. He's had a big shift, hasn't he?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
He's kind of always been the same Gibbon to me, but maybe that's to me. I don't know. What do you mean?
Oh, no, I'm not going any farther than that. If you're not going to back me up on this, I'll just walk away from it.
I don't know what you...
Derek Mine up in the box now. Looks like Anthony might be following him.
Okay, very interesting to watch Derek right now because basically he's been shooting so many trap birds recently that anything that goes away from him he takes incredibly fast. And he would hate that I say this, but it's true. Anything else, you can see the trepidation as he pulls the trigger. And today I think he maybe got a little more warmed into it because I was watching him and you can see body language-wise a lot more confident in what he's doing. But the day before, you see that? Okay, so here Derek is somebody who is very, not in a bad way or a good way, just in as it is way, very transparent in his emotional state through his body language. Right now you can tell there's a lot of just – I call it ego, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that you can see his see right there. So right now, just by reading Derek, other guys, like if I were to be out there shooting, you wouldn't know what's going on with me. Derek, you can easily tell, and he's using that to build. So I can tell you right now, tomorrow, Derek is going to be someone that you need to watch out for, just by reading his body language right now. Because that's what he does. He's in a way like... that was interesting. Anthony didn't even look at that bird. His eyes never caught up to it. You can tell that sometimes when the gun doesn't have any connectedness to it, and that it just looked like the gun was moving at 5 miles an hour and the target was moving at like 12. There's no relationship there. That was a good shot. I can tell there that he worked a lot harder to visually connect to that second bird than anybody else, probably because of what happened in the second bird of the previous pair of not seeing it.
Your current leader right now on the scoreboard, Mr. Brandon Powell,
and defending 2023 champion.
Mm-hmm. And the coach behind him,
the 2022 champion behind him. No, yeah,
22,
yeah.
Joe Fanizzi.
I got mixed up if it was him or Zach. I can't remember. Zach wants to daggone many nationals in a row. Got confused.
Well, Zach won the first year that the Super Squad. Was that 22? So maybe Joe was 21.
Joe was 20, maybe.
20?
It was the year that he was going into college, so 21 probably.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm mistaken. Yeah, that would have been Zach in 22.
So I was right.
Yes, you were.
You're admitting that on
Don't
live
give him
TV.
that, Sean.
Oh, I'll give it to him.
No.
It doesn't happen very often.
Okay,
David.
that's
Come
true.
on.
That's all the chance you get to be right this time, Jason. You can't be right anymore.
You can't tell him that too often. His head gets too big.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of give me's today, and I'll take them all.
So here's the thing about Fanizzi. I love to watch him shoot because he just totally trusts what he's doing. Everybody says this about him. You can see how far his head is off the gun. But where you'll see him, if he ever does start to miss, it's when you see the physical. Watch the lower part of his legs and then his biceps, and if you see that flexing a lot in the shot where he's like squatting in the shot, there's too much tension built up, and what's happening is the hands are kind of disconnecting the plane of the gun from the plane of his eyes, and he'll miss stuff that he shouldn't miss. Let's see. Right there. Why does it seem like he shot less than everybody else?
Yeah.
Or am I just talking and not paying attention?
No. Some of these are seem like they're taking more shots or less shots. I'm not sure why.
It seemed like Brandon shot 2 pair and he was done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Connor Daniel. You know, David, we interviewed Connor at the U.S. Open.
Boy, what a nice kid.
And, yeah, and good family, too,
Yes.
behind him. He is really starting to come into his own as a shooter. You know, he's I don't know if he's taking lessons anymore from Zach or not, but he's you know, he was under his tutelage for a long time, and now he's kind of breaking out on his own and doing his own thing, and he's developing himself as a fantastic shooter.
I think that it's cool to see when especially kids do that, because it's a thing you have to do as a kid. You kind of got to break away, not like separate in friendship, but you have to find yourself eventually, as opposed to be an emulation of the person that's taught you. And that's no disrespect to the people that teach you, but it's just that when you start to become an adult, personality wise, everything, like you need to learn who you are as a competitor. And it's cool to see that now, because before it was kind of hard to get to know him. He was very shy. I was kind of the same thing as a kid. And
you were?
Yeah. Well, I was never shy, but I was hard to get to know.
Boy, lots changed with David. Maybe that's who I was thinking of in the David Gebbin traveling thing. It was David's the one that changed. So
Okay.
I got them mixed up.
Okay.
They kind of look alike. David's got a little bit more hair on top.
The size of my head, opposite proportion for the size of Gebbin.
Poor Gebbin. Madison Sharp.
Man, I'll tell you what, one of the most fun interviews that I've ever done were Madison and Halen after the U.S.
At
Open.
the U.S. Open, yeah.
Was that not one
Oh,
of
my
the,
gosh, that was a riot.
Those two are so good on camera. They're hilarious.
A lot of energy. Karen Miles, Gebbin's wife. I shot with her and her dad at the 2019 Northeast Regional, and she was hammering targets, dude. And I'm like, this little girl is going to be somebody, and here she is.
Well, the cool thing about Karen, you're not seeing it now. You're seeing, like, basically short changing moves. So, like, I can tell in the way she was moving on the first one, the way that she missed it, everything kind of disconnected right at the end. Her attention went to the second board before she finished the first one. I'm not talking about, like, she checked it. She just started worrying about number two before she was done with number one. So not really giving you a good example as to what she can do, but the athleticism that she has,
Yes.
and the upper body strength that she has, her ability to move the gun is basically like unparalleled, you know. And when she's allowing herself to really trust what she's seeing and work off of that, that's why she can put those ridiculous numbers up there, you know.
Georgia's own Shelby Moon in the cage.
Super Cruz says, everybody has shot 3 pairs, David. Pay attention. Attention is one thing I cannot afford to pay.
There's Halen Hanks in the box. Desi watching.
Yeah, I wish that they would have been filming this in like a 16 by 9 instead of 9 by 16.
See, that's where I got in trouble, because every time I would do this, it would be in portrait mode instead of landscape mode. And
yeah, landscape is better. That was beautiful. That was of everybody that just shot that we've seen, the pair that she just shot was the best I've seen anybody shoot that pair.
Explain why.
Movement-wise, it was beautiful. I wish I could rewind this. What's her score right now? That was so good.
For the main?
No. Oh, man, I think I talked her into those misses.
Way to go, David.
I hope that we're not cut to a live feed out there.
Right. Yeah, the whole stadium's hearing us talking.
Yeah, that was such a good move, though.
We got to mute that.
I'm working on it. Stop yelling at me.
Wow. I knew that was so good. Can I rewind this? Please tell me that I can. Gosh, dang it. No, I can't.
I think you can, David.
No, I can't.
You
Because
can't?
it's a Facebook Live.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, Desi's getting in there now. I don't know if she shot a pair yet or not. We just kind of lost our feed there for a second.
What was so much better about those moves that she was doing was just her overall stability and control, and like where the balance that she had made it to where her hands were not in play at all of the movement. It was all coming from the body, which means that there's a high level of precision. So when there's a lot of nerves on the line, it's hard to do that because your body gets tight, so then your hands start to take over. That was beautiful. That was very, very good.
Desi's an amazing shooter.
Yeah, and just a hilariously awesome person. Smoking those targets. Just adios those bad boys. There was one year I shot in this, Desi won the whole thing. She whooped everybody. Yeah, I don't remember what year that was. A couple of years, maybe like 5 years ago or something. Or maybe it was the North versus South shoot.
Get your facts straight, David.
I don't know. It was something, but she wrecked everyone. It was hilarious. Oh, that's a good point. Preston's saying that we should call the scores or the pairs. I think we're about to see them, to be honest.
Here we go. What in the world is going on in that box?
Those are those glow balls that they throw out.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like they're going to throw those out to the crowd.
I was hoping to see the scores here, not the glow balls. There we go. Here we go. There's your scores, ladies and gentlemen.
Connor Daniels winning with an 11. We have Connor, Derek, Brandon tied with 11. Joe Fanizzi at a 10. Everybody else is at a 9 until you get to Zach with an 8. Turner Parcell with a 7. Bill McGuire with a 5. Mike Wilgus with a 4. With the ladies, you have Desi is whipping everybody. Desi's winning the whole thing right now again.
No, wow.
I swear to God, she's got 12. So she's ahead of all the men. I can't see the score anymore because it's cut off.
Can't tell what Halen has. Looks like a 9.
Yeah, Desi 12, Halen 9, Shelby Moon 8, Karen Miles 7, Madison Sharp 5. I bet Desi does it again.
Think so?
Yeah. Honestly, the way that her and Halen were moving the gun, honestly, I mean, Halen's only 2 behind any of the guys. You still got a whole, probably there's going to be 9 targets left.
Yeah.
She could straight it if it's hard. Come back.
Well, speaking of which, while we have a minute here, I want to go over the current leaderboard scores. So Brandon Powell is leading the national championship right now. He's on a 146. Turner Parcell is right behind him with a 143. Anthony Matarese is sitting on a 142. And below Anthony, we have, are you hearing this, David? Desi Edmonds and Derek Mine tied with a 141. So David, our very own Mr. Big Head Radolovich himself, has dropped back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th, 9th, 10th place. But let's understand, we're talking the difference of 6 targets. Yeah. So, I mean, it's still a tight race.
What am I behind, like, third?
You're at a 139, and third place is at a 142.
Yeah, so it's nothing.
Yeah. It's still too tight. I mean,
it's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Yeah,
David?
We're only 2 days in, but the impressive thing is, like I was saying earlier, like Derek Mine's now popped up here. Matt Fisher, Braxton Oliver. These names weren't up here yesterday.
Right.
Everything's kind of flipped a little bit. So.
And it's only second day, though. I mean, there are a lot of changes that are going to take place tomorrow as well.
Right. What's interesting is this year in the scores on Score Chaser, they broke out the pro class ahead of the rest of Masters. And if you go down and look, which is going to be difficult to do because a lot of the 2-day rotation stuff has already been posted. Where are we at, Sean? Help me out here.
What are you looking for?
We're looking for, sorry.
I'm looking for the people that aren't in
So they have a pro squad bracket and then their master class bracket below that.
And you got to remember that everybody that shot the 2-day rotation last weekend
is already done.
Yeah, because their scores are so much higher, they're going to be posted way higher. So here's one for you. You're on a 139, David. Is that what I said?
Yeah, I'm just going to let everybody know that's watching. I'm continuing to watch the video feed for the Top Gun. But I'm going to cut to other ones because right now it's just they're talking, and so I'm going to go to a page where the scores are, but don't think that the Top Gun's over, and don't think I'm not paying attention to it. I'll bring it back when they start shooting again.
Wait a minute.
What? Don't be waiting a minute, me.
So, Brandon Powell is leading right now with what?
144 or something, 146.
Okay, we got a Grayson Ponder,
Mm-hmm.
who's also sitting at a 144. It's not part of the pro squad.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I was
But
getting
how many
at.
events has he shot? 2?
2.
Really?
Yes, and then you have Dylan Epp sitting at a 141. And then there's a 3-way tie with a 140 between Jasper, Connor Daniel, and Mike Luongo.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some potential people here that are not even associated with the pro squad.
Yes.
Here, if you look here, there's 2 people tied with a 139 is Peyton Meyer, and your student, David, I know he took lessons from him, was Andrew Gunther.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Gaucher?
yes, I always say that wrong. Thank you for correcting me. But, looking down through here, like Kyle Millwood, Logan Crane, there is a lot of really great shooters that are not in the pro squad that have a potential of pulling us off.
Yeah, I'll just say, though, I think it's a massive advantage being in the pro squad.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have if you're that type of person, because the level of intensity that it brings your best game out by far, and if you don't have that, it's kind of hard to access it.
Okay. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I understand.
Going back to video, the stadium's definitely packed. Looks like
Oh, yeah.
standing room only.
I was looking at the dinner.
We've got a lot of questions about it. Actually, you want to go to that?
Yeah,
instead of
let's
just
do
ramble?
that. Yeah, why don't you read the questions off, David?
Okay, so Super Goose says, let's talk about how David talked into existence him crapping the bed today on last night's episode. Well, I just know myself. It had nothing to do with that. I fell asleep on the course. Okay, so we have, Ryan says, let's see, we got for Neil, Dan. Okay, Dan's question's a funny one, but we'll go to Ryan. So it says, Ryan says, David, does shooting in the nightly events impact your performance the next day? Yes and no. That's a great question, actually. And basically, I'm going to cut back over to the other thing because they're about to start shooting soon. I got 2 cameras on me. I don't need that. Maybe we don't need one on Jason.
We don't want. Hey, watch it.
But basically, it can and it depends on the type of person that you are. I would say somebody like Derek Mine, Brandon Powell, Mike Wilgus, guys who all I'm saying about those guys is that they build momentum off of how they shoot and how they perform. So if they shoot at night and they do well at night, it's going to help them in the morning. If they do bad at night, I think I would say it probably, depending on which one of those guys you're talking about, it's maybe going to make them shoot even better the next day because they'll kind of be upset about it. But then you have people like, I would say Wendell. It can affect him just because of it would kind of needs a little bit more like desocialization to kind of like recharge the batteries. If he shoots well, huge momentum boost. If he shoots bad, it's not going to hurt his ego or anything like that, but it would potentially it would be the same thing for me. It could be so draining socially that you basically kill your energy for the next day, and that's very important. Or the other thing is it amps you up so much that you can't go to sleep, and then the next day is bad.
Right.
There's a lot of things you got to think about, and different people are different ways about it. Okay, so right now we got Madison viewing the birds. That's a great question, Ryan. Everybody's different, really. Okay.
Shooting at night is a whole different ball of wax.
I love it.
Yeah. Depth perception is always a struggle. And just the lighting, just if you've never done it before.
If the lighting is good, it can, if it's not good, it can make it very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
But normally.
Well, at least they have a background here. Like we're used to shooting the Cardinal night shoot, and most of that terrain just barren cornfields behind it. So you have no idea of depth. You don't know if the target's 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards. It's really hard to tell.
Yes. Okay, let's see. What's interesting for me to watch is the amount of people that like to put white chalk on their barrel.
I'm a fan of it.
That would be so bad for me.
Really?
It would be the easiest thing to see. How could you not see that?
Yeah, but you shoot proprioceptively.
You mean I shoot the right way?
Oh, God, here we go.
It's just interesting to me that a pro.
If you're someone that has a lot of barrel awareness when you shoot, and you shoot at night, the chalk would be an advantage.
None of the pros need barrel awareness.
Okay, then why is half of the pros down there with chalk on their barrel?
That's a good question.
There you go.
I think they should get rid of it.
Bring it up at the next delegates meeting.
Yeah. No, nobody's. I'll say this publicly. Nobody's better than me at shooting at night.
Whoa.
That's a statement.
It is.
Whoa.
But I can prove it.
Well, and I will say that we have shot with David, and aside from the carnival trick shot routines that we were seeing, he does hit targets pretty regularly.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I couldn't lose in the PSCA. That was
Really?
all at night. You do when we do these things, I goof off and I'm at the top of the leaderboard. It's really none of those guys that are there that are shooting with chalk. They don't need that. It just gets in the way. But I shouldn't say that because it helps me win.
Well, you're never going to be invited again, so it doesn't matter.
That's valid. I think that was the biggest moth I've ever seen. Yeah, that was actually an interesting. I can see why she missed there. She basically missed in front and above it, but it looked to me reading that bird like it was going to go that way. I don't know if it must be a bat 2, upside down bat 2, curling out and away or something. Basically, her last pair was dead loss. I'm really interested to watch Halen's. She looks very focused visually. God dang, she's shooting very good. The connectedness. Watch the authoritativeness in like the precision in when she moves to a place very quickly. So that was a smoked dead pair. Dead pair. You see how quickly she's going, and then as soon as she gets there, how quickly she immediately connects to the second bird. Mm-hmm. Very, very. I hope that they gave that to her. That was for sure dead. We can see it on.
Might have been a little chip off of it or something.
There was a bunch of stuff.
Because it kept going. The bird itself kind of kept going, but I think a little bit came off.
Let's watch.
I don't think she got
I don't think
she got the second one, yeah.
She got a little amped on that one. You could see it. But that's the type of thing.
She smoked that first bird.
Smoked it. And that's the type of thing that happens. You're on a straight run in a stadium at night. You get hard pairs, and these are really hard. And then you get to where it's like you got a lot of time on a second bird, and it's just hard to hold that energy in, you know?
Oh, yeah.
God, that was so good. Look at that. I can't make a better move than on my bed. Right now, I can't make a better move than anybody in that stadium, but I'd fall asleep in the middle. That was very, very good. Out of their -1, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's going to put her really high up on the leaderboard against everybody else. And yeah, Rob, there's no sound coming from them.
Did they freeze?
Yeah, it looked like something happened there with our feed.
Is yours still going, David?
Yeah, mine's still going.
Okay. That's it.
Desi just had a dead loss.
It's our internet here.
Yeah, the internet's pretty bad.
The Wi-Fi is not being cooperative.
Okay, so Desi's, if she runs this out, the worst she can do is win. Okay,
there
that
it
was
Yeah, our video.
not a bad move. Okay, but a little bit. You can see the tension. The more back and forth that Desi does, sometimes. Beautiful shot. Get it, come on. Yo, I have no idea she hit that when it was right in the corner. I think right now she's down one. Can you guys still not see anything?
It's chopping in.
Yeah.
Riveting action we got going here.
Pair on the last one. So I think Desi, -1 or -2 there. I'm not 100% sure. Possibly. If it's -1, if it's -2, someone's going to have to run it. Maybe by the look of that, what just happened, she may have just had a -1. All right, let's see if Mike fixed the placement of his gun. A little low.
I'm glad you can see we're still frozen on Desi here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, from the look of things, the way that because Mo always likes to give people a lot of crap, basically he's starting to ramp that up a little bit, which tells me that Desi has it potentially, like, basically
Gonna win the whole
for
time.
sure at least tied, and he's giving all the guys some crap. Nope, still going to be hot. Yep, we're going to see some misses. Yep. It's crazy how a few millimeters difference in the shoulder can make a difference like this. You're not going to see him miss anything that's mainly vertical, but stuff that's but he's at a lost pair, lost dead, or lost pair, dead loss. I think another lost pair right there.
There we go.
Lost pair. Wow. That's crazy because that's a little easy fix and he'd smoke him. There's great moves. I wonder if he got a new gun or a new stock. Or do you guys know anything about it?
I don't.
I don't know either. Just
I
Absolutely
have
not.
to do some investigating.
should I text him?
I don't think right now is the appropriate time.
I'll text him. If they have another cage.
It
How
may-
funny would it have been if I texted him after the second cage, like, hey, Mike, your gun's too low in the shoulder, and then he runs the last one?
Jay, I'm still on your water, buddy.
Why don't you have your own?
All right.
Be even better.
Sorry.
Uncle Bill.
I look like the same thing on that one. I think that was a dead loss, but I'm not sure.
We have any more questions coming in, David?
I'm looking. Not really. I think everybody's just watching. Great shot. I think the screaming we just heard was the shot that just happened right. Could you guys see what happened?
Yeah.
He shot that thing way out there. That's what Bill does. He's always a good crowd pleaser. Gets those big nasty ones way out there. Oh, man. You didn't see it. It looked to me like a lost dead. I think he hit the second one there.
Crazy thing is he'll do it with a skeet choke, too.
Yeah.
He always opens up.
Turner. Beautiful move. Great. Oh, that was one of the best shots we've seen. What I like to look for is as people are moving and connecting with the birds, like that looked awesome. basically I'm looking for how much of one piece does all of their movement look like? Mm-hmm. Is there any disconnectedness in it at all? Is there anything that's becoming like Turner, watching him shoot, he's just like a tank, like there's no disconnectedness in his movement. It's really beautiful to watch. I remember watching him shoot as a little kid. Very good. Very authoritative. I like to see that. And a very polite kid to shoot with.
Oh, yeah.
What I liked a lot was shooting with him today. Him and I were both tied. We shot yesterday together, go into today. He doesn't show any type of ego or play any type of mind games, and it's just like that, both rooting for each other the whole time and wanting it to be like a good round, you know. And I love people that do that because it's really about shows a lot of maturity, but also it shows a lot of confidence in themselves.
Yeah.
When you get somebody that starts to play games with you, that shows a lack of confidence in themselves.
Remember that, Mr. Alley.
Oh, I will. I will. Sorry. Had my mic out of my mouth when I was taking a drink of water.
Anytime that type of thing happens to me and I see someone start to try to do that, it's like, I got you beat. Because you're worried.
Speaking of water, you can't drink enough water out there, man. It's hot.
No, you can't.
My goodness.
It is hot.
Well, in the dust.
Yeah, and the dust doesn't help.
I like Cory's outfit.
Can we just note here that Cory just went to a BearPelt here recently?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Smoke that.
He got smart.
Wow, smoked them both.
Yeah. Cory is one of those guys that, like, it doesn't matter what you give him. His ability to shoot things is ridiculous. Have you guys ever seen his video? So far it's been dead pair for him, if you guys want to know. But have you guys seen his video to try out for Top Shot?
Have not.
Lost pair on that one. He goes and shoots sporting clays with a bow.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
That's funny. When Cory gets up there, he always rocks a little bit forward, like to set himself into his stance.
Lost dead.
He kind of just rocks back and forth there, and he settles in and then calls
Well,
pull.
and Anthony does.
Anthony does, too.
The same thing instead of
Lost
front and
dead
back
again.
and side to side. But
Yeah.
I think Desi may have this again. What's cool about Zach and Desi with their BearPelt Beretta stuff is the way that they have their outfits set up. It literally makes it look like the shirt and the vest are one and the same. I don't know if they designed that purposefully like that, but it's cool because it looks like Zach isn't wearing a vest.
Yeah, it looks like he's wearing a shirt.
Yeah, but you can see that it's blended into the vest. That's pretty cool.
That is neat.
Dead pair on that one. Whoa.
what?
I don't know I couldn't see what he did on that last. I know the first one was dead, but it looked like the bird hit a moth or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was I think a lost pair
Yeah,
or a lost dead.
look like it. All right, let's see what Wendell can do.
Old W.
I don't know, but credit to Chad Roberts for bringing this up last night. Wendell has picked up his pre-shot routine, the length of it,
We all have to.
considerably.
I don't have a choice.
Crushed both of those.
God dang.
Well, you two caused that rule.
No.
Well, you three, I should say. You and Wendell and Tom.
I think Joe is the longest.
Fanizzi?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Wow.
He's laying the smack down on them birds, isn't he?
Yeah, I just got a little out ahead of that second one, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. He, wow.
That first one get by him?
Yeah, it did. That was one of the things he was talking about, the difference in Wendell has lost a lot of weight since the other gun that he's gotten much healthier. And I want to say 60 pounds or something like that. I don't remember what he said it was, 40 pounds, 60 pounds. And that looks so good. And so this gun that he has now, it just fits him so much better. It moves more as one unit with him. And what I'm seeing here is like now he's finally he's moving like that now, whereas he always had that ingrained into him, but because of the tightness and closeness of the gun and how close to his body it had his hand, sometimes it gets out of control. And I never saw that happening there. And so dead pair for Braxton. So the interesting thing is when you do that and you switch over to something like that, then it's so much faster. You can shoot so much faster with so much less input of work or movement because of the efficiency of the movement. And dead pair for Braxton again. And so the cool thing the thing he was joking about is that it's like, God, this thing just like, it's so fast. Sometimes it gets away from me. Not fast in that the gun moves quickly, but he's just ready to take the shot quicker. And so calibrating that a little bit. Lost on the first one. They didn't have the second bird in the video, and so that was one of the things that Wendell missed that one. But I think he just kind of tried to. Maybe it looked like he was trying to attack it like I normally would.
Yeah.
Dead.
Dave, we got a question here real quick.
Yep.
Mark Patrick writes in, y'all just mentioned chokes. For us lower level guys, does choke matter that much?
Yes. I believe so. David's going to argue with this. David hasn't screwed a choke tube in a gun since 1942. He shoots fixed choke barrels. I seriously think it does. And you look, Sean borrowed a gun for the weekend. Are you done playing with your microphone?
No, not at all.
Thank you very much.
Not at all. I just didn't want to cough into it.
Sean borrowed a gun for the weekend, and he borrowed some rhino chokes from me that would fit the gun, and considerably made a difference.
Oh, absolutely.
But the gun he borrowed had, were they IMOD?
The barrels I had yesterday had IMOD. The barrels this morning had Mod.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're pretty tight.
We opened it up for him.
Loss on the first bird. I don't remember about the second bird. Go ahead.
But we opened it up for him a little bit. I think he ran a 7 in the bottom barrel and a 12 on the top.
Yeah, Rhino 7, Rhino 12.
I didn't have any more 17s, and he wasn't getting mine. But anyway.
I didn't really need him, though. That 7 will break stuff way out further than most people give it credit for.
That pair on the last one for Anthony.
But I know for a fact, look, with my Vortex rangefinder, scoped the tower from the cage on, I think it was Station 6 on Super Sporting, and it was 68 yards. And it was his first shot. And did you think to flip barrels?
No.
So he took a 68-yard crosser with a 7,000s choke.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, if you're a new shooter, I think you should run a more open choke and then work your way into something tighter. And the reason why you want to go tighter is the visual you get on the break, I feel, builds more confidence.
Yeah.
Look, Sean and I, and David's a big proponent of 1 ounce loads. The only reason I went to 1 ounce and 1/8 is because of the break that I get in the target. There's nothing that those little rhinos out there can't break. And people at the top of the game.
I want to interrupt you real quick for people to look at this. Watching Todd shoot, very interesting to see how perpendicular his head is in relation to his barrels. Creates a big vertical space between the plane of the gun and his eyes, not because of gun fit, but because of how he chooses to have his body. There's a huge payoff in that the visibility of everything. If you can move mechanically without independently having anything, hands move differently from the body or the head or the eyes, which is very hard to do under pressure, there is a big payoff, but it can hugely affect you. Now, the difference is you can see the same thing here with Fanizzi, but look at basically the pitch in Todd's gun is much lower. So the the vertical space between the plane of the gun and the eyes is much more noticeable. Joe's gun kind of intersects. Look at the barrel, kind of intersects the plane of his eyes. So it's going to make it to where you have a lot of vertical space, but you can still have the gun close to the center ocular part of the eyes. The difference there is that Todd is going to have way less visibility of the gun all the time as opposed to Joe. But so that's a benefit for Todd's shooting style. But the downside for Todd will have moments of inconsistency that he won't understand why he's missing because of if he's moving wrong or something is wrong there. Watching Joe, he'll always have a little bit more barrel awareness, but it's much more consistently reproducible in the placement of where that is. So you'll see like Joe can rip things a little bit faster, which is what we just saw there. So it's kind of cool to see the two kids that are, well, they're not really kids, but, you know, younger guys, top of the game, very similar approach, different effects in how that they do it and understanding the difference. Now, something looks different in the way that Brandon's shooting right now. I don't know why.
Do you have any other questions coming in?
Let me check here. Kind of got sidetracked and.
Sorry, I didn't want to have to. We couldn't pause the video.
Yeah. Now, hopefully you answered Mark's question.
Well, and just to finish up what I was saying, my only point to using the ounce and eighth is just confidence in the brakes. I mean, the 1 ounce loads will break anything out there. I just like the look that I get, or the break that I get out of ounce and an eighth. So my point is with the chokes is open it up if you're a new shooter. You want to run a skeet or improve cylinder.
Did Brandon just win that?
I don't know. He was really happy about his shots, though.
Maybe he wasn't expecting to hit them. Man, you guys didn't get my joke.
I heard you.
We're focused. Couldn't tell if Derek got that second bird or not.
Yeah, dead pair for sure.
Okay.
Great looking.
I got a much smaller screen to look at over here, David.
Yeah.
Not your 32-inch monitors.
Wow, that looks good. Oh. Gosh, I need to be able to replay that because I wanted to show you. There was very obvious that was going to happen before he shot the second bird.
Mm-hmm.
I like to watch Derek shoot because he makes you feel like you want.
What?
Derek would be a guy that, like, this is going to be such a random left field thing to say. Like, back in, to go back to Roman times, he'd be the guy that you'd want on the horse that's going to amp your whole army up and be like, ah, and just, like, everyone's going to get pumped up and, like, oh, and just charge into a group of guys. But, like, when you watch him, like, right there, he was disappointed, so you don't feel that. But when he's going and he's on a roll, the only person that comparatively is more entertaining to watch is Brandon. But in my opinion, Derek is more. Derek is really fun to watch when he's shooting good because it's just like, the whole body is moving in a way that's just filled with confidence. It's very cool to watch.
I don't know if you caught that, David, but Connor was kind of trying to amp up the crowd.
Yeah. I love to see that.
Yeah.
That's good because that's what tonight is about out there, And I think it's a shame that it's turned into, for some guys, let me win this so I can get. You can never fault somebody for trying to win a trophy and win money, but people get to watch us shoot seriously all the time, and they get one time a year.
The one question I didn't get to ask Neil, and I'll ask you about it, David, is.
Yep.
Super Finals. I know you're a fan of them.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why they went away from them? They were doing them at U.S. Opens and stuff, and now they don't anymore.
No, they've only ever done that once at a U.S. Open.
Okay, they only did it once.
Yeah, and it was at Big Red Oak in 2017.
Okay.
And they should have kept doing it. I told Wendell and Jess, like if you get it again, I hope that you do that again.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see that precedent set. Dead loss on that for Connor. And I think that I have no idea. Well, I cannot come up with an argument as to why we should not do that.
I think it's just time. I think they,
Dead loss.
Just so everybody understands what I'm talking about with Super Finals, if you don't know, basically when the event is over, they take the top 7 or 8, 6, okay, and they put them just
We're
like
about to see the scores. Go ahead.
They put them just like you're seeing right now, 3 cages for 25 more targets. It counts as part of their score, and they shoot it off, and it's really cool because. Let's see who we got here.
Looks like Brandon's got a what?
How did he do that? How is that even possible?
And I didn't get to see what Desi had.
Desi had a 17. Brandon had a 19. But maybe he just didn't admit.
Yeah, maybe he just ran that whole thing.
I guess.
But anyway, it puts.
So that would make sense.
Yeah, it puts the top 6 into the stadium, just like what you're seeing right here at the Top Gun Shootout, across 3 cages for 25 more targets. It's very, very crowd-friendly, as you can see here. We would love to do it because that'd be very easy for us to bring you that coverage. I don't know. I hope it happens. I would love to see it. Love to see it work out. At least regionals, U.S. Opens, nationals. I think that'd be awesome.
Message for David Trudeau. He said it signed in late. What's this shoot for? This is the Top Gun Shootout, David. This is a Friday night tradition here at the Nationals, and they pick. What do they base the criteria on, David? I mean, do you really know? Is it just
closed doors and secret handshakes?
Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Smoke-filled rooms.
Smoke-filled rooms. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We've got what, like 12 men and 6 ladies? Is that what they've got?
I don't know.
Something in that ballpark. But yeah, this is just a fun competition in the complex here. Everybody's sitting in the bleachers behind them, cheering them on, and a lot of the top name shooters are in here competing. Matt Topper's got a question. Did Brandon dye his hair, or is it the lighting?
I think it's probably – I mean, he does dye his hair sometimes. He used to have this what do they call the frosted tips?
Oh, like a Guy Fieri thing or whatever? Oh,
he used to – back in the day, he used to have the frosted tips.
Okay.
And then I think he should go back to that.
Wow, Anthony.
But I don't think he's had his hair dyed. I think it's the lighting in this right now.
Man, he moves so quick.
Cool to watch. I like to watch the differences between everybody. It's so unique. What's cool is that you can see just the unique difference in every single person, but also at the same time there's some very core elements that everybody does the same. And they're basically things that you can't get away with not doing. So it's cool to see how, different mechanics, different everything, but still there's certain things that everybody does. Anthony, what did Anthony shoot today on the course?
You pull it up, Sean?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
That's an interesting choice.
So Anthony shot. He's at a 142 right now on the main.
You know what he shot today?
He was one of the guys I said to.
Well, he shot yellow and red. They're both 71, so 71, 71 on both.
Red course.
I don't remember who I called to. Was he in my top 3? I said, Anthony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was your from last night. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I had him, Cory, and who else did I say with the 3?
Brandon.
Well, Brandon, yes, but I had Anthony, Cory, and was it Derek? I said all 3 of those were obviously in contention.
I guess they're shooting off for second and third place here with a tie.
Okay.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, they're only shooting one pair apiece, it looks like.
They might be doing a pair sudden death. Why are they? It must be that in real life, the three-dimensional movement of that pair is different than what we're seeing it on the screen, because it doesn't make any sense to shoot that pair that way by what I'm looking at it.
Is he in another dimension?
Well, he's David.
Okay.
But why would you? Why would you shoot it that way?
I don't know.
It must be that because of how we're seeing it, one of those birds must be going out and one's coming in, and we just can't see it on a screen. But it doesn't. The way I'm looking at it, you shoot the other way, and both shots are easier. It looks like Mo's really kind of goofing up with everybody and like making it light, and that's good. I'm happy to see that, because that should be what this event is about.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're just going back and forth with tying. 3 guys. Maybe Anthony. Is Anthony still in it? Do you guys know?
He shot just a second ago.
So we got what looks like a left to right deep quartering on report, left to right quartering crossing bird. Right over the top. You see where that's what I was talking about, where that happens during the shot? And it's not every shot, but could you see that in his body?
Yeah.
And sometimes when that happens, that's when you're going to see him. He'll kind of misses on top of the bird a lot. Oh, it's so weird. I'm so zoned in on watching these guys that when they're about ready to shoot, I get quiet because I'm afraid they're
gonna hear you.
They can't hear you, David.
I know.
Be careful what you say. They might be able to watch it tomorrow. So.
Yeah. See what I mean? Just the similarity in the way that what fuels like Derek and certain guys and certain personalities very heavily fueled by their own performance. I wish I was more that way because it's easy to build momentum. Mm-hmm. But Derek is one of those guys. Wilgus is one of those guys.
Did you catch the
Brandon.
second, third, fourth in there?
No,
I couldn't.
The way I'm looking at it, you couldn't even really see it.
Okay. I mean, I can see Brandon's on top of the men's and Desi's on the top of the women's. But other than that, I really can't catch the details. They're going too quick or something.
It looks like everybody's bugging out.
That must have been finished. That must have finished off the ties.
Wow,
maybe?
dang, they must have all left before they started doing the shoot-off. Yeah, look at that stadium. It's like half empty.
Yeah.
They just finished shooting.
Just clearing out there. Looks like Michael Hampton's making a few last-minute announcements. Yeah, looks like they're shaking hands and wrapping up.
Yep, that would be it.
Old Don Brunt there.
Well, let's get back to the show here and open it up. What do you want to do, Dave? You want to open it up for some more questions, if anybody has any, before we get going here in a little bit?
Sure. Haven't seen anything new come in, and I'm going to refresh again just to make sure.
I'm having all kinds of wireless internet problems here.
Looks like the only update I'm seeing is the polls. No new Q&A and nothing new in the chat.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, so everyone, let's see. It's, getting on 9 o'clock here.
Yep.
San Antonio. So if anybody has any questions before we get going, we will be back tomorrow night with the North versus South, which is very entertaining as well.
That's my favorite thing.
Really?
The North-South?
Mm-hmm. Tell me why.
Well, it's cool because people get serious down in Texas about the North versus South.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, and so normally being in the stadium for that and being like the only Anthony and I really traditionally like the only. Well, I guess you got Wilgus, but people don't really think of people out on the West Coast as being like
North and South.
Yeah, it's really like, go back to the to the Civil War. It's like, Washington wasn't really but you got like Anthony and I being like the only two real like Yankees, you know, and then we're down in Texas, and they put Derek on the north, and he's from Kansas, so you know, yeah, it makes sense. But man, the hate that I would get, like you'd go out to, boo, you know, Yankee, you know, and it's an absolute blast. And like, I mean, it gets heated, you know, and I have never been. It goes to my evidence of me saying about shooting at night, and I've never been. If I'm out there, the North has never lost.
Really?
Yeah. So that may be why I'm not allowed in the North versus South.
David's tooting his own horn quite a bit here
I'm
tonight,
just saying.
you know?
There's a whole symphony going on
Yeah.
over there.
Nobody can beat him at night.
Nope.
No, it's not going to happen.
Nobody can beat him in North.
The North-South
South
can't lose. The North can't lose if
We
David's
can't.
on the North
Listen,
team.
I will carry, even though I live in the South now, I'll carry the North to victory every single night.
Oh, the FCC is going to shut us down. All right, moving on from David's big head.
The Georgians are loading their gun and hopping in their pickup trucks.
No,
out
but
as
it's
we
really,
speak.
it really is a blast to be out there for that because, you know, I mean, it's by far the most crowd engagement.
Do we know who the randoms are? Because and what I mean by that is they choose a random person that is signed up here at this event to shoot with the pros for one for the North and one for the South. Do we know who that is?
No, I didn't even know they were doing that. That's cool.
Yeah, they always have.
We can find out.
Okay, we're putting Sean on that mission. Any more questions coming in, David?
We have someone saying, what is the bottom? Did we get to the bottom of the over-under on missed calls on David's phone?
Yeah, that's. Let me tell you something. We have got several investigators looking into that, and there's no leads.
Yeah, we've tied up a supercomputer at the NSA that's still trying to calculate that out.
Yeah. Don't think it's going to happen.
1,387
What?
phone calls.
That you're behind?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well,
Just think, David,
at least it's a manageable number.
if
Yeah.
every one of those people wanted to give you $10,
1,387.
that's wow.
I don't know, Jason. Mine's never.
Well,
mine's never been into even double digits. I don't think.
Yeah,
but-
let's be honest here. Of the 1,387, I would say probably 1,377 of them is me trying to find him to get here in time. So, so no questions, David? 'Cause this thing won't refresh. It's got a ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on mine,
here.
and my phone's pretty quick right here. So
Okay.
Nathan Rory wants to know if the room is big enough for David Ted. I have a petition in to try to get a bigger room, but no.
this is what we got to work with.
We do have one from Super Goose. What are y'all's thoughts on if the NSCA should do mandatory downclassing?
I think
Well,
so.
I mean, they already. Well, I mean, as Mark Baltazar said, you know, the whole point in this thing is if we're going to legitimize the class system, there has to be a penalty to not if you're not shooting what's considered par for your class. To allow, I think if I was going to do it, I would make it to where you can't stay in Masters. I don't care about the other classes. If you want to stay in A, AA, B, C, whatever,
You have to shoot good enough to stay.
you have
in
to
this.
stay shooting
Yeah.
good enough to stay in Masters. And I think that would be, to me, a reasonable and the only.
The one thing I'll say about it, I think the EC and the NSCA have done a really good job of trying something to fix the problem.
Well, sure.
And I agree with the downclassing. The only thing I would add is I think it needs to be tougher to get to master class. They've made it easier to come up through some of the bottom classes by decreasing the number of punches you need. But it's still 20 punches from AA. You're going right into master. And look, if I shoot well this weekend, I'm back in master class again.
Right.
And
And I've been playing that game for the last 3-4 years. I mean,
it's,
master, AA, master, AA, and I'm
Right.
going to probably go back to AA at the end of this year. So
Yeah, I mean, and if we end up in Masters again, we got to shoot with the greatest of all time in the dark and in the North versus South, and we don't have a chance.
You got that right.
Thank God his Tesla's got a big dome-type roof on it to fit
Right.
his head in there.
right, roomy,
roomy,
lots of
yes.
room.
Yeah, David, your unanswered questions, can't you just text your car for an answer or something? We're driving down the road the other day, and he just asked his car random questions, and it gives like these big paragraph-long.
We got like an AI generator in there, ready?
No,
Okay.
it's part of the Tesla thing. He's all proud of that. So.
All right.
The I think I'll give you my perspective on the downclassing thing.
Now, I don't think you can give a fair perspective.
I think I can give the most fair perspective of anybody here.
I disagree, but go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say.
I think that that the NSCA should have asked people what they wanted. Instead of sit in a room amongst themselves and think that they can decide what they think the people want, because I think that of all the people that are actually in front of the people that are in master that maybe shouldn't be, quote unquote, there's nobody that's in front of those people more than people like me.
Okay, so let me ask, before you go any farther, let me ask you this. Do you think it should have been a poll on how to fix it, or do you think it should have been a poll on do you want this to happen?
I think that it should have been, it's not a one question survey.
Well, but what I'm getting at is this. If you ask people how to fix it and you surveyed 10,000 people, you're going to get 10,000 different answers. I've noticed that a lot.
Well, you don't do an open-ended survey.
Right,
the first thing you ask is it a problem and should we change it?
Oh, I think unanimously.
Well, I mean.
Do you, though? Is it because that the people here, like, we have to understand as a group of people, the ones that talk about it all the time, there's 100 of us. There's 25,000 people in the NSCA. And it's very easy to be stuck in a vacuum of thought and think that because us and our friends think one way, that everybody thinks that way, and think that it's not important to ask them before we make a decision. And I can tell you, and so can everybody that coaches professionally, that there are so many people that are upset about that.
Okay, so here's my point on this. There's 66 people in the pro squad, and those in master class that are not included in the pro squad, there's 608 shooters here in master class.
I think that if you're going to do something, kick me out of master class. Don't take away something that somebody earned.
Well, okay, so here's another thought that I've had about that exact thing.
Yeah.
So you make it to master class. It's an achievement.
Yeah.
I did. Proud of it. Jason did. He's proud of it. But maybe, just maybe, I mean, let's face it, is Tiger Woods the golfer he was 10 years ago? Now, he can't golf the same way he did. Did he make the accomplishments? Did he win the events? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
But can he compete today at the same level he did 10 years ago?
Right.
And that's kind of the argument that I have about masterclass.
I think that's fair.
There's nothing wrong with maybe having a little asterisk or something next to your name. If you're now in A class because that's what you're competitive in, and then you have a little asterisk next to your name that says, I made it to masterclass.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any shame in that.
No.
It's just like, okay, age takes effect. Your eyes take effect. Your body takes effect. So if you were in masterclass while you're in your 30s and 40s, and now in your 60s and 70s, you can't compete. Is there really any shame to that?
Yeah, no, I completely empathize with that. I think that from a psychology and from a marketing perspective, because really that's what it is. It was a marketing decision that what you need to do is if you're going to make a decision that in the eyes of the person you're deciding for negatively affects them, you need to let them feel like they had a voice in it. Okay. And so what should have happened was they should have asked people, do you think this is a problem? Does it need to change? Here are our possible solutions. Which one do you like best? And I think that if, our sport really is a social sport, although we like to try to think of it as a professional sport. And so I think the biggest problem had nothing to do with if getting to master is based off of punches and it's not based off of reclassification of your consistent average or whatever that weird thing is that they what do they call it? Class average something.
Yeah, your percentage.
Percentage, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a punch-based system, then once you get that many punches, then you get there and you're stuck, and maybe you want to categorize a master class. But I think that, number one, take the pros out of master class. Make us compete in something else. Make us have a huge entry fee. I shouldn't have to pay the same thing to compete in this shoot on the pro squad as guys that don't. My entry fee should be 10 times more expensive. And that's where the money should come from, that I win. So because there's a lot of people who, my opinion is that I think there was a little bit too much of. There just could have been more thought involved in it. I think that they're obviously trying to do the right thing, but you got to make sure you go about it the right way.
I think if you make it tougher to get to master class, the cream of the crop will rise. They will get into masters.
The problem, though, is that you can't just let people get there and then change it. That's why Masterclass was created, because previously it was just AA, and then they had to come up with a thing that, because eventually you get to AA. So then they create Masterclass, and that's an invite only back in the early 2000s or late 90s or whenever that was, and invite only. Well, then they opened it up to where you can get there through punches now. And so then now everybody gets to master, because they couldn't take people out of AA, so they got to be like, all right, well, now to get these guys out of AA, we got to make a thing that only they can get to. So then you do the invite only, you do multiple rounds of invitations to masters, and that's what happened. Well, then people wanted to be in masters that weren't invited, so they say, okay, we'll give you punches to get there. So they get punches to get there, they achieve that ranking, they're very proud of it. That's their accomplishment for what the whole point that they put all the money into participating in the sport, traveling all over the world to do it. Okay, then you say, all right, well, now we're going to take that away. You can't do that. You have to do what you did before. You got to add something on top of Masters, make it invite only, take the best guys out of it, and take as many guys as you want. Put multiple rows on top of it. But you can't say, oh, you won the national championship this year, so we're going to take that away, and then we're going to give it – we're going to make it –
I don't think a national champion's going to be downclassed to AA.
Yes, but there were plenty. Not full, I mean, there were some. I go back. I think Bobby Fowler got downclassed to AA multiple times. He's a world champion, national champion, AA class now. And so,
but that goes back to what Sean said.
Yeah. So I mean, Tiger Woods won the U.S. Open,
right?
But if he can't win it today,
yes.
What does it matter?
Well, the difference is that I would argue the difference is that is a professional organization and this is not.
Okay, so then that begs another question. If we're going to, if the sport's going to be serious, then you have to have criteria for what it means to win.
Yes, I would agree.
And if it's just a social thing, so then you have to ask everybody in the NSCA, is this a social thing or is this a competition thing?
I think it's definitely a social thing.
Okay.
I think it's for sure a social thing. That's the whole point of that if it wasn't a social thing, I think that this shoot would be a lot different. And I think it's a good thing that it's a social thing.
Okay.
And I think that that's a little bit of what some of the pros want to change. But the problem is you change that about our sport and it changes the sport and it's really good. That's the whole thing that Julia was talking about like we're not the PGA and it's good that we're not, but there's some things we can take from it and change.
Yes.
Okay. And so I think like me being a professional and wanting to grow the sport, I don't want to make it to where I'm not here at the social events. It's important that I am at the place where there's sociability and where people are having a good time. But also at the same time, I shouldn't be competing with them. That's not fair. It's also not fair for all of the people that are here to pay my winnings.
Right.
That's not fair because they have jobs, and I've never had a job, and hopefully never will. But but it's not.
You got to give him points for honesty.
Yeah, I give him that.
If there's one fault I have, it is honesty. But and maybe a little bit of ego, but
we can find. I can list a lot more faults.
Yeah, but no, that's the way that it is, and I think that the masterclass thing is. I feel bad because literally every student that I know and every one of their friends that got downclassed, the problem is that if you wanted to do it that way, that's totally fine, but don't make the decision for people. You have to understand that different people's pinnacle of achievement is different, and some people, my number one goal, win a world championship. A vast majority of people that play this game, their number one goal is to make it to masterclass. That is equivalent to them as it is for me to win a world championship. It means the same thing emotionally, internally. So you get somebody that makes that. That's why I said you win a world championship or a national championship. Because what I felt and what it meant to me to win the World FITASC Championship is what it feels like for some of my students to make it to masterclass. All of a sudden they work really hard to make it to masterclass. You say, oh, nope, sorry. That hurts. If you take that world championship away from me, they'd be like, man, but I earned that. And so you just take it away without saying, hey, what's your input on if we do this? That's a bad way to run the whole thing. That's a bad mistake that was made.
We got a lot of comments flooding in, guys. I just want to touch on a couple of these. Rob has a comment. What about changing the amount of punches on 50 target events versus 100? I think that's a legitimate thing we can consider. But we've kind of done the same thing with subgauge. We've pretty much eliminated the ability to earn punches from subgauge and move up through the classes. So yeah, maybe on 50 target events, you cut the point system, the punch system in half. I mean, I could see that being reasonable.
I think what they did is totally fine. I just think that people should have felt like they had input.
Okay, but again, I mean, my argument would be, I agree with all of that, but where do you draw the line? There has to be a line somewhere for those that want to be serious about competing.
Guarantee if you did the surveys, the polls, and you had input, and if everybody's unanimous, you're still going to tick off a vast group of people.
Yes, but at least you asked.
Okay.
Yeah.
The point is, like, you make a decision like that, and you say, hey, we asked everybody, and the majority wanted it this way, then they can be upset.
Right.
But they gave their input, and they had the minority input, so yeah. But you don't ask anybody, and everybody assumes that nobody wanted that thing, and that's why people are mad.
Yeah.
Super Goose says it is a problem. We need an accurate classification system. Master class should be a much smaller class than it is. The middle classes should be the largest. And I tend to agree with that.
Yeah, it should be a bell curve.
Yeah, I think, and that's where my point is. I think the only way to accomplish that goal, if we're trying to make master class the elite, the hardest thing to get to, then we need to put strict rules on how to get there and how to stay there.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's the only way it's going to work. Dan Williams comments, making it to master class in today's NSCA isn't what it was making to master class 10 years ago. David, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Because 10 years ago we had the sub-gauge events that you
I think it's harder to make it to master now.
I would agree so.
Yeah.
I would agree so as well. And maybe that's what Dan meant, but I don't know. JJ, why? You can't apply statistics to a bounded distribution. Also, really nothing is a normal distribution, should it be?
I don't remember what part of the conversation we were talking about.
I'm not sure either. Masterclass is Superguru says masterclass is too easy to attain. Shouldn't be a lifetime accomplishment by allowing people to refuse a down class or classification review. And I tend to hold that viewpoint, but again, that's my opinion, and you know what they say about opinions.
If I'm arguing what I think is right, it's different from what my opinion is. My opinion says that masters should be low. We should kick people out of master class, but I don't think that's the right choice.
So what do you think about? I mean, and again, Jason and I, outsiders looking in, and I would say most of the other people that shoot in the NSA look up to guys like you, Anthony, Zach, Derek. You guys are on a tier by yourselves.
Yeah. And
you've even said it before on our podcast when we talked about the path. You said maybe there's a level 5.
Yes.
Instead of just 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So if you're talking about strictly about guys on level 4 or 5, which would be you guys that are on the magazine covers, your sponsored shooters, you take it far more seriously than we do, and most of you make your living at it, or in the most part make your living at it, versus a guy like me who works a 50-hour-a-week job and does this on the weekend as fun, which is what most of this sport is.
Yeah.
That's where I think the separation has to happen, because when I come to an event like the Nationals, not to poo-poo it or anything, I have no real desire or expectation to do well, because I'm competing against guys that shoot for a living, quote unquote.
Yeah.
I don't have the time. I don't have even if I had the resources, I don't have the time. And if I had the time, I probably wouldn't have the resources. So I mean, so to be honest, I mean, I don't come to any big shoot as a master class shooter, Jack Links, regionals, US Open, expecting to ever compete with you guys. On my best day and you shoot your worst, it's still probably a very low chance that I would beat an Anthony or a Zach or a Brandon. There's just no way. So why don't we be realistic and say, okay, if that's the case, let's put you guys, wherever that dividing line is, up here.
Yeah.
And that's masterclass. For the rest of us, it's double A.
Yeah.
And I would fully get behind that.
I would agree. I think that is what it needs to be that way. It's only fair. And I'm not arguing because it would actually make it worse for me if that happened.
Well, I know.
So
that sucks, and that's probably why it kind of keeps going on the way it goes on, is because if we pull everybody out of Masterclass, you guys got nothing to win.
Yeah, which in my opinion is that makes it worse. It sucks. But okay, I'll deal with it. It's my job to deal with it. Make my entry fees more expensive. If I'm a pro, I should be willing to bet on myself. That's totally fine. So I'm okay with that, and I think that's the way it should work, because when I say it's not fair, I really mean, it's not fair for the guys that don't do it for a job, that can never beat. I mean, everybody will beat the top guys they want to, but you just can't compete. It's not the same playing field. And so there needs to be a separation of that so that the guys that do it very seriously as a hobby can win what they should be able to win, okay? And but what I would say, so I say I agree with the direction, but I would just argue a different way about doing it, which is that instead of saying adios, get out, we just say let's add another one. And you guys are in Master, and we're pulling everybody out of Master.
But didn't they just do that? I mean, Double A was it.
Yeah,
and then they created Master, and now here we are again.
But the problem was that they changed Master from being invite only to adding it to the punch system.
Okay.
So they just need to make that should have never happened. If that never happened, we wouldn't have this problem. It would just be invite only still at Master, and we'd be like the rest of the world that doesn't have anything over Double A. You go to Europe, there's no Master class. So what I just think, empathetically speaking, off of everybody that I listen to every day, all the time, you can't take something away from somebody that earned it, that worked really hard. You can, but you shouldn't. If the other solution is to just add something on top of it that you pull us out of and put us in there and just say, look, we're never going to make this part of the punch system. You cannot get here unless you're asked to be. You do that, and if you don't want to force people argue about that, then you say, okay, well, look, if you want to be considered the national champion and you don't decide to enter as a pro into that and pay the extra money, then you can have the high score, but you're not called the national champion. And that's the way that it should be, because then basically you're saying, okay, well, look, if a pro can't afford it or doesn't want to compete in that, then they can decide to compete in Master, but they can't win any title. The title should come out of that division, because that's the fair thing, where we're all shooting on one squad, rotation, everything like that.
I would also argue, though, on the invite-only thing, I don't like that because of political reasons.
Oh, I
still think there needs to be some clear accomplishment list or whatever.
That's what I mean.
So you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do that. Then and only then can you be considered for Masterclass.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
That's just my thought.
Yeah, you can't do a closed-door secret handshake thing.
No, that doesn't work.
Well, I don't think we're going to fix the Masterclass scenario tonight, guys.
No. And Jason looks like he's about to fall asleep.
It has been a long day.
He's dreaming about what it would be like to be in this pro class.
No desire. Any other comments you wanted to talk about, Sean?
There's a lot of other similar comments of the stuff we've touched on. Super Goose says, it matters because if we want the NSCA to be actually a legitimate sport, it needs an accurate classification system. I'm a Masterclass shooter. I can't sniff and end-of-year down class because of all that vanity master shooters refusing down classes but can't shoot C-class scores. The classification system should be based on current ability, not past ability. And that's I would agree with that. I've said the same thing. Yeah. And there's a pride factor, there's an ego factor and everything. And again,
maybe
Tiger,
I'm just a wuss.
Everything that Tiger's won, if he can't go out tomorrow and win it, it doesn't take anything away from what he accomplished.
Yeah.
It's just he can't do it now.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tom Brady. Same thing with Joe Montana. I mean, you can't take away what those guys did.
Yeah.
They just can't go do it now.
Yes.
And there's no shame in that other than, hey, you got older, your eyes got worse, your physical attributes got worse with age. You can't be at the top of the game forever.
Yes.
And that's all.
It'd be nice.
It would be nice, but I haven't found that fountain of youth pill. Have you, Jason?
No. Let me know when you find it.
I mean, more than anything, I've been going downhill the other way.
I'm still waiting on you to pull that winning lottery ticket. So.
I know. Keep waiting.
Yeah, exactly. David, any other world problems you want to solve tonight?
I got plenty. You want me to list them?
No.
Well, we got tomorrow night, boys.
Yeah, I was going to say, just take it easy over there, Lab Coat. Okay, we'll get back to you tomorrow night. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate it. It's been awesome. Tomorrow night, we're going to bring you the North versus South coverage. Going to have some more guests for you tomorrow night, some more shooters. You coming back with us tomorrow night, Sean?
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here.
Cool.
Unless you kick me out. David might like my attitude tonight. I don't know.
You're done for, Sean. You have to agree with everything I said.
You heard it here, folks. If you don't see me back, you know why. There's a whole political influx
go.
going on.
David, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Yeah, I think you have last night's stream now up on the website, right?
Yeah, and
okay.
this one will be up tomorrow morning.
Okay, there you go. Well, folks, we'll see you back here tomorrow night, 6:30 p.m. Central, from the National Championship, from the Champions Network.
We're still going.
Why?
Because I'm trying to find the right button to press.
Wow.
Well, at least he's consistent.
All I can say is wow.
Wow.
All right, now we're going. Adios, guys.